Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain about EPF related issues. So, Provident Fund. So, many people have a lot of concerns on PF and they usually do a lot of research. So, if you're able to check in this particular Word format where I've collected some information on EPF service history. So, recently, like 1 week back, so we have a new option called Delink where in case if the PF contribution, if it is not being done, and if you have an ID being created in the PF history, service history, you have an option to delete it. So if you're able to see here in actions, previously this actions tab was not available. So now you are able to see actions and here the delink option is visible. So once you click that, you will be able to access it. So I hope many people are aware how to log into PF. So with your UAN number and your password and the captcha, most probably it might take a lot of time and also OTP will be coming to your mobile registered number. So once post that, you will be able to check your service history in the view option. Uh, Service history option will be coming and you have lot of options. And also one more thing which I wanted to tell you is, by chance if you have not enrolled for the nominee for your account, please do update because it will be helpful when you are withdrawing the PF amount. And you can also check lot of information. I'll just make sure that you are getting all these details up to the mark in this video. So first is this delink option. So I'm just wanted to tell. So once you click on this delink option, you will get this two options, which is reason for delinking. So here the first option will be I never worked in this established company and the UAN was added without my consent. So if you have not worked and if UAN was added, you can select that option. If not, the company has offered you a job but you have not joined. So these two scenarios have been added here. So once you select any of these option accordingly, you click on this tick mark option, I hereby declare. And once you tick mark, uh, so you will be able to get a pop-up like this. For example, if your contribution is already available in, uh, so if the amount is already been transferred or if the contribution is available against the member ID, so delink will not be allowed. So delink will not be allowed. So you will be getting this particular error. And for example, and one more thing which I wanted to clarify. So if you are marking an exit, for example, if any exit date is not being marked for any of the companies, if you want to mark it post 2 months of exiting the company, you have an option to select the exit date in mark exit option. So here you can also see that a date of exit can be updated after 2 months of last contribution made by the employer. And coming to the PF history contribution, if you are able to see here, there is one more login inside the PF where you can check the passbook. So in that passbook, member passbook, so you will be able to see the total balance, how much amount, and here employee share, the company share is how much amount, and employer share is how much. So preferably this video is mostly for experienced people and just wanted to give a clarity. I'm not sure like how many of them log in and check all these details or if you know how to log in. So this might be helpful. And make sure you're remembering your UAN password. Okay, like UAN number will be the normal one and the password, make sure you remember, not every time changing the password and all. And maybe once in 6 months if you're logging in, the password will get expired and you have to change. And preferably EPF, if you are logging in, try to log in on late night post 11:30 or 12 till night 1 a.m. so that the PF website will work properly without any issues. Next is, there is one more option which I have updated here. So the option of marking the exit. So if you click on the manage, I have already explained you, right? So on that marking the exit date, so you have to select which employer select which employer you have been you want to mark the exit date, and the or the company name where the exit date is not mentioned, and you have to mention the date of exit properly without any error, and the reason for exit. It can be a lesser period of time which you have worked, or you have to mention the valid reason. And tick mark, you have to tick the both the checkbox, and once you will be getting an OTP which will be coming to your mobile, and click on submit option, and the exit date will be marked immediately in EPF history. So make sure you are rechecking and updating the details properly without any error. So this is like marking the exit date options. So this is marking exit dates if it is not been done. Okay. Now, in case if you are facing an error while updating the exit date, so for example, if there is no contribution is being received, or if the date of exit is not possible, if you are getting this error, so you should go to manage option, click on joint declaration option, select the member ID, and you have to update your gender, marital status, nationality, select the date of exit and the EPS date, reason for leaving the company, and you have to upload the necessary documents as per the request which is being mentioned. Now let's talk about EPF history overlapping. So whenever you are working in any company, never work in multiple companies together. Or for example, if you are getting an offer in a new firm and you are already working, so make sure you are giving an information to the HR where you are getting selected, from when you will be able to join, or at least take a break of 1 week post you exit the current company. Don't immediately join on the next day once you get exited. Take a gap, so that, and in case if you have any uh, leave balance or balancing it in notice period, make sure you are giving a clarity. Most probably MNC firms will not allow you to take leave balance and take leaves, so you have to compulsorily work on the notice period of 30 days or 60 days, or it depends, 90 days or whatever. So mostly people in COVID lockdown, I have come across like candidates where they have worked in multiple dual companies. So that is where your EPF history overlap, like the date of joining will be prior to the exit date of current company. Okay, and one more thing which I wanted to tell you is never uh, withdraw the PF money in between, or due to, just try to taking out for simple or invalid reason, unless if it is a valid reason, or if it is a financial issues or family issues, or if you are not in a job, or if you are in a very bad situation, then only please withdraw. If not, you can withdraw the PF amount post 50 years or 52 years. It's not a compulsion that you have to withdraw every time. Keep the balance, because when you are joining a new company and when you have options to shift to a new company once in 3 years, so make sure you are trying to continue the PF amount. So balancing the planned leave with a notice period, you should be very careful in case if you are planning to do. If not, please work continuously till your notice period, and your leave balance, whatever you have, it will be uh, provided in your FNF amount. So no need to worry, you will be able to get that money where you had the leave balance. And BGV issues. So most of the companies nowadays are checking PF histories, where if your resume and your uh, EPF history companies are matching or not. So if you have worked in multiple companies and if you have left in a lesser span of time, few HR people are rejecting candidates. So I will just tell you one thing. So every person might not have a proper career guidance, or they might have some kind of issues. It might be a shift issue, night shift issues, or it might be a manager issue, or any other valid reason. Without a valid reason, no one will leave a firm within 5 months or 3 months or 6 months. So usually people would like to stay, but even a candidate or an employer should understand that somehow survive in a company for minimum a year or a year and a half if the company is not a good place to work. If not, please work for 2 to 2.5 years minimum for a stability reason. And yeah, try to make sure these things very careful, especially from 21 to 21 years of age till 32 years, so that it will not be a issues once you cross 33 years. Now, coming to the PF issues, which where many of my candidates have faced some problem, I'll just discuss about it so that you'll get to know how people have faced the issues in PF, overlapping, or it might be any other queries. So one candidate of mine, he had an overlap issue which was 7 months back from today. So he was a 2020 year passed out from Pune location. He joined one of the MNC software domain, and post 6 months of joining, he has also joined another company during lockdown time, and he left that firm for 3 months. So what happened? So the PF number was created in between, and it was creating a overlap issue. So when you are working in a firm, okay, so it's not compulsion that you have to join again one more firm without having a proper uh, exit from the firm. And even the HR people or the people who are doing BGV should do a thorough check, even if it is for a fresher as well, to check the PF history so that they'll get to know if they have worked or not, or if their PF dates is updated. Next, he worked for two companies at same time, and the second MNC where he had joined. So this is the same concern, okay? So this continuously I'm just telling you. So the second MNC where he had joined, they have not done a proper BGV in March 2021. He is working or not, and they have not checked this EPF history before hiring. So due to this only, from October 2023, most of the companies are checking the PF history, especially Accenture, TCS, and other firms, before they onboard a candidate. So BGV team has might have thought that he is a fresher and why to check the PF history, but and also the candidate also didn't inform that he was working for another firm. Okay. So now post 3.9 years of working in the same company where where he's still working. Now, when he wants to switch to a new company, he is getting rejected because of BGV issues in as EPF overlap issues, and now he is struggling whether how to merge or rectify any overlapping EPF accounts. And even if you are visiting this PF office, either it might be in any of the cities like Chennai, Bangalore, or Pune, it's not 100% guarantee that your issues will get rectified when you have overlapping issue. And I wanted to tell you one thing, like if you have worked in any firms for 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, we need to have an option to even delink those, even though if amount is getting, amount has been transferred or whatever, because once if these issues have been, like once if irrelevant companies are not visible, so it will not create an issue in your background verification in any of the new companies which you're getting hired. So what is the main lesson here? Never work in two companies simultaneously. And even it might be a freelance recruitment, it's fine, it's little bit fine, but working in a two MNCs together or joining randomly, it might help, it might create a problem. It might be a freelancer job or part-time or doing a business. So few firms are not ready that he's having a second income. So I'm not sure about employment in US or UK, but Indian government is completely different. And dual employment creates problem in BG verification post hiring or prior hiring. So take guidance before taking your own decisions, as PF will be calculated from date of joining. So whenever this PF is, if it gets calculated like post 4 months or 6 months of working, it's fine. But what is the concern? The employee and the employer deduction will happen from the initial stage. And if a person is not sticking on to that firm, it's a double work for the people, like the candidate or the job seeker, to get stuck up in this PF related issues. So BGV team should check the PF history for freshers as well as that many people hide the work experience in the resume if they have worked for 2 or 5 months duration or a shorter period of time. And there are even chances people are even absconding due to any severe issues. So make sure you never abscond and try to go on a valid exit. It might be because of night shift issues, it might be related of work pressure, or it might be related to manager issues or family issues or whatever it is. Okay, so please try to go on a proper good note rather than absconding the company and getting into an issue. And whenever you have this termination or getting warning letter, so it will create a problem. So please make sure that you are having a good rapport with your manager, HR people, as well as your senior managers. Okay, let's discuss on one more PF issues which was overlapping. So this was in Access Healthcare firm, Chennai, where he has worked in 2021, and due to lockdown, he was not able to continue the work post 10 days of date of joining. So most of the HR people are not able to even hire properly, and due to this lockdown he was not even able to continue post 10 days of date of joining, and the exit date was marked wrongly by the HR team, which was in the 2021 year. And later when he has joined a company, so EPF is the big four company, and when they have checked the PF history post 3 months of joining in one of the banking domain, he was sent out due to the client BGV check. So there are sometimes client also does a BGV check, and apart from that, like companies also does, and third party also does. Then again in PwC Bangalore, post 1 month of EPF history check, the BGV is been read, and now he is having issues. And now the concerned company where he had faced initially in 2021, the HR team is not responding, and due to this overlapping issues. So overlapping is something like it's very difficult to resolve. So it's not just like that we cannot resolve, because it is our mistake to work in multiple companies, or if not, if there are any issues while exit, you have to go with a proper leaving, not with like without serving notice period or without having a valid exit. Even a 1 day exit, if you are leaving the company as well, it might even create an issue at the later point of the time. To serving minimum 30 days notice period is well and good. If not, if the company is having 15 days notice period also, it is better to serve. And overlapping, so the letter from one of the firm saying that, okay, let's read this. We should get the letter from one of the firms saying it's a part-time job and getting settled manually, and the main account can be transferred to the present account. So overlapping, so there was one solution from one of the person. He should get a letter. The candidate should get a letter from one of the companies saying it's a part-time job and getting settled manually, and the main account can be transferred to the present account, and the EPF history details cannot be deleted. So this is what the concern. Even though that new option which is being done recently, but still few people are unable to delete it. So I don't know when these options will come to delete the company details if anyone has worked for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, because even the PF team should consider or think about all these issues. And if we have any issues, we can raise the grievance to the EPFO head office in Delhi, informing, and they might be help in a situation to guide the people. So dual employment. So dual employment is a breach of contract. But what if when the HR has agreed for the early release and even taken the compensation amount, that too in a contractual short-term jobs, and then putting the release date as an extended date which is overlapping with the current organization joining. So it's against the rule of the company. Okay. And in a low paying contractual short term job, that too in the peak of COVID, the employer should consider the situation of the candidates hiring. These are some of the feedbacks which has been received. And due to the negligence of the other company, if they are not providing the release on time and not giving the permanent employment. Okay. So few companies are trying to check the BGV in PF history. So the companies are Accenture, Cognizant, Capgemini, TCS, Genpact, PwC, KPMG, Goldman Sachs, Wipro, Novo Nordisk. So these are the companies which they usually check PF history before scheduling an interview or post to get selected. Unless and until if they are comfortable, they will be hiring for you for the role. Okay, so one of the candidate want to remove one of the company's experience as he has not worked for more than 6 months. So he has not shown this work experience in his resume. And one more candidate didn't have did not. One more candidate has absconded due to some personal reason, and HR people asked the service letter proof, but he doesn't have. But in EPF history, details are reflecting. Next, I have come across few of my fresher candidate in certain MNCs, but HR people don't inform the certain things post getting selected. So yeah, and there are few companies which even ask you the PF history PDF in terms of especially Capgemini or few other firms. So and Accenture as well. So they usually check and post if they are not happy with it, they don't onboard the candidate. So make sure you're having a proper valid exit. If not, it will be really a problem. And PF history should be checked once in 3 months or 6 months. Never try to ignore those things because it's very important. And there is one company called ID Automation near HSR layout has made the candidate to work, the employer to work for. Yeah, it is one of the yeah, employer to work for 7 days, like continuously, not even a one rotational week of was provided. So, and he was logging in by evening 7:30 evening till morning 7 a.m. without any gap. 7:30 minutes it should be 4:30 log out, but he was working till 7 a.m. and he was unable to work, and later he absconded due to lack of week off options, and there was no leaves as well. And he worked for 3 months and left the company. And in PF history, his exit date was not marked, and also he has absconded it. So see, this is not his mistake. So a company should give a proper 2 week off. Working for 7 days very difficult. That too it was a one rotational off, not even a fixed week off. And that too he has extended till 7 a.m. So I'm not sure, like none of the employees will be able to work in such kind of environment. In 24 bar 7 company, so one person told he was in 2 a.m. login in Australian telecom process non-voice, and salary he used to get was 15,000 per month as a fresher. So he left as he was not able to do a graveyard shift, and within 1.5 months he left the company. So whenever you are in morning or 2 a.m., or you can tell like midnight 2 a.m. login. So it's not easy, especially I think it's not Australian also. It's something like New Zealand telecom domain, because Australian will mostly start by morning 5 or 4. So coming to this, so one update which I got was, so this was I think 6 months, 7 months back. So I got one of the update where for one of the role for Accenture for contractual payroll, the HR told the it will be for 6 days working, and the work location will be in RGA Tech Park, and they are like checking the PF history. And yeah, so make sure HR should inform the shift timings properly and also working days properly. If not, once you join as well, you'll not able to survive. If it is a day shift, you can somehow work for 6 days, but if it is a night shift, it's not easy to work that easily for a continuously 6 days. And dual employment, it's very difficult. As I already told, it is a breach of contract. And this is one more scenario. One of my candidate who worked in Concentrix long back, which was 4.5 years back in KYC process. So he got an offer in emphasis. Okay, it into pre-underwriting process. So he didn't serve the complete notice period or complete or proper notice period and inform the HR few days planned leaves can be deducted in leave balance during the notice period, but the candidates were not sure if it was balanced as per the records from the HR. See, you might inform the HR about the leave balance in notice period, but what guarantee that they have done approval or not? Okay, so he was not aware that it was balanced as per the records from HR and the reporting manager, and as they were not happy to send them, and he told that he got another offer in hand. Okay, so the date of joining in the another firm was within the notice period of Concentrix firm. So it was prior the notice period ended, and he had joined in another firm where he has got an offer in hand as soon as possible without a gap or break, or 1 week rest also he has not got. And the company where he has got a new offer in hand, they have also not checked the BG. They have not checked and has not checked, and the BGV properly. They did not check the BGV properly, and the employee was with a work experience letter during the lockdown period. Okay, and this all happened in lockdown period. And once he left that emphasis after completing 2.2 years, he got another offer in another MNC firm. Later, when that new firm, when they were got to know that he has worked for a dual employment in the initial two MNC firms, which is Concentrix and Emphasis. Later, they terminated him in that new company where he had joined post 1 month of joining, and now he was without job that time. So please make sure you resign or put down your paper or serve your notice period at least 1 or 2 months as per the company policy. Don't be in a hurry to join a new firm. HR people also who is filling this EPF dates or the hiring HR should check all the HR field is not that easy to just like that you can go ahead with it, and they have to check the last working date properly in the previous company, not just like that onboarding a candidate. And few firms or most of the firms never give emergency exit, and even I recommend not to go with an emergency exit. Serve your notice period. So please do take the guidance if you're not aware on the company policy from any of your known people. And if anyone working in exit process, please make sure that you are like aware about all these things on the PF history and the exit date and date of joining of his new company, so that it will not be an issue for a person's career due to the small error in the notice period days. So I believe most of the information I've given here. So okay, let's see more topic. One more candidate of mine from Delhi location, which was 9 months back. He faced an issue with HCL Noida location where he had got an offer letter and onboarded, and the date of joining the first day. Post filling the EPF details, manager has informed that we cannot accommodate your hiring uh, because of client issues. So once he got onboarded, once he did onboarding details, then they have told, the manager has informed that because of client issues they cannot onboard him or accommodate, and he is facing issue in BGV because his PF history was reflecting in as he worked for 1 day. So I'm not sure for 1 day also they have, it was creating a problem, and the company where he got an offer letter again, so they were asking him a service letter, but the HCL HR team was not responding properly in Noida location. And valid exit of 1 day, either if you are having a valid exit of 1 day or it might be a 1 month notice period. So preferably I feel 1 month notice period is better rather than 1 day exit. In case if it is severe toxic environment, then 1 day is fine. But it should not affect your BGV or in future companies, that you have to do a verification. And few times even in Indian companies are also strict, because compared to MNC, Indian companies also try to check many things. So you have to submit your ID card, submit your laptop, or whatever the assets, the headset which is been given, so it should be given without fail. So never leave your desk without submitting your office laptop ID cards without informing issues. Okay. And also issues or manager issues, and if you will not get that, and also like if you are getting a termination mail, warning mail also, it's very difficult to make sure you are going on a proper good note with without creating any issues or any harassment issues. You should never make with colleagues, so be very careful. And exit date should will be marked by the company team post 2 months of exit, if you have a valid exit. If not, they will not mark. And shift timings, do inquire if you are not able to do any other odd shift, like because few times daylight saving will be there and you might be logging in post 1 hour uh, of the login. So it depends, like few people will not be, and shift allowance, few people will not be comfortable if it is a lesser amount, so they need a decent amount of shift allowance per month. And if you are not interested to do overtime or logging in 2 hours every day or once in 4 days or in a week, like mostly like 70%, if you are doing overtime, if you are not comfortable, then you have to be little careful. And few people will look only for day shift, maybe due to their parents pressure, or like if they might not be comfortable. So these things should be informed properly in the screening round or post getting selected, or when you are discussing of the offer letter or pay related, because nowadays getting a job is very challenging, and if you're getting, you have to survive there for minimum 3 years. And you should have the valid documents like experience letter, pay slip, service letter, hike letter, and all these necessary details without fail. Either and keep a copy of all these things in your mail so that whenever you're uploading it in any of the portal, BGV or in the initial HR screening, it will be easier for you. So only previously TCS was strict in BGV where they used to consider people which is lesser than 2 years gap. More than 2 years gap, TCS never used to consider the gaps. But now challenges apart from TCS, even there are other firms which are being very strict now, and there should not be any black mark against you in the verification check. The one of my one more candidate who was in was in accounts process in so he scolded bad words. He was scolding using bad words to his reporting manager, which was very bad. And luckily, the manager didn't take it serious and has never taken action against him. So these are the real scenarios. So be very careful or raising voice in office or fighting or it never works out in office. So from the age of 21 till I think I can tell not 27 till 32, you should be aware about all these details and be very careful so that you will never face any issues on EPF history. So I hope this video helps a lot on terms of EPF history. I have given a lot of options or given an example on how this delink works or if it doesn't work. So and if you are able to see download PDF. So whenever if you are downloading this PDF of this e EPF service history, so you will be able to get the complete details of the companies whichever you have worked. And here it's like your date of joining and your date of exit will also be mentioned here. So you'll be able to see all the details and EPS number, member ID will be there. So whether it is which member ID and the company name will be mentioned and the company ID will be mentioned, whatever it is. So I hope, and this D-Link is not working for most of the people. Whoever is contribution is there, they will not be able to delete it. So preferably I wanted to tell this and I've covered other details as well, so which can benefit you people. So do share if you have any other queries in comment box on PF. If I'm aware, definitely I will uh, give you a proper uh, answer for all those queries. Thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe and share this video to many people. And whenever any videos which you're trying to watch, do watch it without skipping anywhere because any information you might not miss in between. Thank you all for watching this video. Do support and you'll share your opinions in the comments box. Thank you.